Hi, this is Nico from Real World Bad Blood with Bring Me Your Torch with Jesse and Elaine.
Welcome to another episode of Bring Me Your Torch. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Elaine.
And this episode is brought to you by us again. If you want to support our show, please go to patreon.com/BMYT. And there you can sign up for several rewards. You can win things like a shout out on our show. We'll follow you on Twitter. You can pick a show for us to cover. You can be a guest host. If you give enough money, you can even replace Elaine as a permanent host.
I'm a great host.
So remember, go to patreon.com/BMYT to support your favorite show, which I'm assuming is us. So Elaine, it's good to be back for another episode. My voice, I think, is at 75% now. I'm slowly beating laryngitis. I'm very excited about this.
You sound so much better. I'm just so glad I don't have to come to your funeral now.
Well, I got this like inhaler thing with steroids or something from the doctor. I went there and literally last week. I think it was after we did the podcast last week. I went to a friend's house for a birthday party, and they had ice cream cake, and one of the plastic forks I had snapped in half, and it surprised me. I went to scream, and all that came out was, ah! I couldn't scream anymore because my voice was gone. Now I can scream, ah! So I'm getting there.
You scream like a girl. Wait, that's not politically correct. I can't say that.
Yeah, are you PC, bro? Come on.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I don't have to dish out the money to come up there for the funeral because now you're feeling better.
You just like try to Skype yourself in instead, probably.
Skype myself into yes, yeah.
So it's been a while since we've had a real regular episode. I think next week we might be able to get a regular one out at some point. We have an interview coming next Monday, and we have a very special episode coming right now at you with our good friend Kailah from the Real World and now the Challenge. I'm really excited to talk to her.
Me too.
So welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for coming back on.
Hi. I'm really excited to be back on. I couldn't be happier to be back on glorious reality television.
So the first thing I'm wondering about is, what was life like after the Real World? You're on the Challenge now, but there's a time when the show aired that you first, I guess, found your quasi-celebrityness, if that's a word. What was that like?
It was normal. I just went back to, bartending and just normal regular life activities. Nothing really changed except for here and there people would notice me out, which to me was kind of weird. Like, I feel like a normal person and I am a normal person, but these people know who I am when I'm out. So it kind of was a little strange for me at first. But pretty much ever since the Challenge, the first 2 episodes that you guys saw the other day, I swear I can't go in public anywhere and 10 people don't stop me. I'm like, this is so crazy. Like, I've had a lot of people watch the Real World. I go, the viewership is just a lot crazier for the Challenge.
Yeah, I thought the Real World would have been a bigger deal than the Challenge.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought that right after the Real World that I would be noticed all the time and stuff, and I kind of was once in a while, but I'm telling you, yesterday I was at a theme park and 20 people stopped me. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is wild.
Do you like it? Do you like your new celebrity?
Yeah, I don't mind it. People come up to me and they're like, do you mind taking a picture with me? And I'm like, I don't mind at all. I think it's really cool. It's something that a lot of people can't do. You know what I mean? So it's cool.
They probably just happened to re-listen to your interview on our show, and that's where the fame came from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was exactly what it was, for sure.
You're so full of it, Jesse. I love it. Well, you finally got the call that you were moving up to the big league, the Challenge. But when you get there, you realize that you're going to be living in a shelter. How was that like?
Yeah, I got the call, and I was so excited. And, I was nervous, too, because I didn't know if anyone from my season was going to end up there. So, of course, the first day I show up, I'm like, oh, God, who am I going to have to deal with? Gion, CJ, Jesus Christ, I would rather not. Ugh. But I ended up being the only one from my season. So I'm like, thank the Lord. I couldn't be any more happier about this. But, yeah, we showed up, and they put us on a boat. And you guys obviously don't see, the behind the scenes, but they drove us around in that, little boat thing for, I'm not even over-exaggerating, 2 hours. And we're like, we just want to get there. Where are you taking us? And they were just going in circles just to get footage and stuff. And then finally, we parked and we're like, oh, cool. I thought we were going to walk up and there would be, obviously a beach. And I thought there was a really nice mansion set back, you know what I mean? Set away so you can't see it. And we walk up, and I'm like, I don't see a house, guys. What is going on here?
Survivor style.
Oh my God. I didn't know what to expect. And when I tell you that, like, I remember day 3, we all were like, there's no way they're going to leave us out here very long. They're just going to, like, want to get their footage, and then we're going to leave. Like, that's it. And then I remember day 7, I'm like, there's no way they're going to leave us out here for another week. Just no way. And then day 13 comes. I'm like, are we really still out here? This is real life right now? Why?
Wow.
At least you had the booze there to keep you company, right?
I know, right? I mean, that helps a lot. That was what we looked forward to every day, all day, because like it's extremely boring. And I just happened to be the only person on the cast that brought a watch, so no one knew what time it was ever. And so every 5 minutes, they're like, Kailah, time check. And I'm like, it's only been 5 minutes. We don't get alcohol for another 4 hours. Like, stop asking me.
What were the bathrooms like? Are we allowed to ask that?
A hole in the ground?
Yeah. No, they built like, there's like a little back area, and it was just like 2 toilets and 2 showers and like sinks. Nothing luxurious. They were outside, so it was almost like, it was better than a porta potty, I guess, because they flushed, but it wasn't anything nice. And the shower
daddy
sucked.
long legs.
It's like no water pressure in the shower. You have, cobwebs in your hair.
Yeah, and like the water would shut off every now and then. So me and Jenna would like shower together because we wanted to like save water, so we both had enough. And like,
excuse me, can you tell me a little more about that story?
Shut up,
Jesse.
I know. We would have like a shampoo in our hair, and it would stop, and I'd look over at her and be like, "This can't be real life." Like, I'm sitting here with like soap all over me. We have no water. Like, this is so stupid. After a while, you get angry about it. You're like, "I hate this place."
And then you start fighting and pulling hair. No.
Yeah, that's when the alcohol came in usually.
Sorry, I've lost my place after that story. Give me 1 second, please. No.
Yeah, no problem.
No, I'm joking. Anybody who follows you on Twitter knows that you just make friends wherever you go. You had the girls ready to be at your throat. It seemed like within the first day or so. What the heck happened?
Yeah, I'm still not sure about that, to be honest. Like, I think that I just rub girls the wrong way. I don't know why, but I think what happened was, in my opinion, which I could be completely wrong, because I don't feel like there is like a legitimate answer to that. Girls are catty. But after that first elimination that you guys saw, there was like lines divided in the sand. So it ended up being Jenna and I, and then eventually Nicole hopped over to our side too, against every other girl in the house. And that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled, unfortunately. And I just happened to be a lot more loud and outspoken. And I think that those girls didn't like that. And I just became an easy target. And I once again, I'm just loud.
The guys like Nelson had it out for you from day one, it seemed.
I mean, I think that has to do, it's the same thing. Just lines were drawn. And I think once girls start talking a bunch of shit, which those girls talk so much shit all day, like the guys, it starts to get in their ear, and then word travels, and now you're the biggest target there. And that was like part of the reason that I didn't want to hang out with those girls, even from day one. Like, we got there and they would all be sitting around in their little circle, like talking shit about people all day. I'm like, yeah, talking shit's fun for like a couple minutes, but you guys are just doing this all day, just making fun of people, being mean. And like, you would think that I would enjoy that because I do seem like the villain, like the mean girl, but I don't. I just wanted to go for a run and like go tan and hang out and chill. And that's what Jenna and I did together. And I enjoyed her like company and friendship. Whereas hanging out with those girls, they're just like, they're not the girls I would have made friends with in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so definitely.
I guess that's probably bad game strategy for me. I should have probably been more social in order to, advance myself further.
You mean
in the game,
fake?
But exactly, but it's all about being fake. And honestly, sometimes you feel like you have to like sell your soul to like get people to like you, even though you don't like them. And it's harder than it looks. It really is.
Well, like my coworker said the other day, let the bridges I burn light the way. So you know what?
Yeah.
You had a good time, and clearly you had a good time with Cory as well. He's not somebody you burned a bridge with, is he?
No, him and I are cool.
Lit a fire with?
Yeah, we were friends before the show aired or like started filming, so I knew him in advance, and I don't know, one thing led to another, and here
Well,
we
you
are.
mentioned something about a hotel, and I was like, what happened with them?
We had like a little rendezvous one time at a hotel, which ended up like being a crazy night, and we didn't end up hooking up that night. But in that scene that you guys saw, I was like, we should have just hooked up in the hotel that one time. Like, it would have been a lot easier than doing it on camera. So that's what I was talking about.
Speaking of hooking up, I think maybe one of the longest lasting things from this last episode was a new term that we've all come to know called politicking.
Yeah,
girls,
I was impressed. That like rivals my completness. Like, I was impressed by that. I hadn't heard her say that while I was there, so that term was new to me when I saw the episode, and I was like, oh shit. I mean, that's cool.
so they basically saying you were kind of, whoring yourself out, for lack of a better term, to get votes before the show. Where did that come from? What's the truth or lies behind that? Tell us your story.
All right. So once again, girls are catty. They'll say whatever they can to like discredit you. But that came from the fact that before the season started filming, I was like talking to Hunter for a little while. Like, we had like a thing, whatever. And I, back and forth texted. He might have gotten a picture here or two, whatever. Well, then the boys all got together and they were talking, and I guess Theo said that I had sent him pictures before too, but I never have. I talked to Theo. I talked to him before we started filming because Katrina told me to text him. Katrina was like, you guys are both going to be there. You're both rookies. Like, make friends. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I will. And I ended up texting him being like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, nothing crazy. He's not my type. I wasn't flirting with him. I pretty much was like, are you ready? I'm packing. Are you packing? Just stupid shit like that.
Yeah, just shooting the shit.
And I think in his head, maybe I was flirting, and I guess I could see how that would maybe come across, but I definitely wasn't. I don't like him, and I'm good on that.
There's a couple things that come to mind there. One, Theo seems to be like a guy who has Bruce Springsteen's Glory Days on repeat constantly about, how he could have had it big, but, all fell apart. Two, and, this is a good thing, I think. It's not like you had to send pictures to anybody. Everybody knows you were involved with the Suicide Girls website, and there are pictures out there, so it's not like you need to send people pictures, right?
Right. I mean, that's kind of like the worst bribe in the entire world. Like, hey, don't vote me in. I'll send you these pictures that you can already get for free online. Like,
I'll send you my boobs, and you can send it to him, and he'll be like,
right? Like, and also, does that even really sound like a legitimate thing to do? Like, I'm just going to send you pictures so that you don't vote me in. Like, I don't think the game works like that. The guys aren't going to be like, oh, no, don't vote her in. She sent me a nude once. Like, that doesn't even work like that. So, like, these girls they're just being mean and catty, and that's just how it is.
Well,
so, I mean, whatever. Yeah. Fuck it.
I mean, care. Emily Fitzpatrick from The Real World Cancun was basically slut-shaming you on Twitter, which was not cool.
Yeah, that girl's a piece of shit. She needs to shut up. I nobody cares about you. Nobody remembers who you are. I don't understand what her issue is, and I think that was just she saw an opportunity in me, maybe to like gain some attention, and that's kind of how she went about it. But I don't know if you saw, I destroyed her on Facebook. So like, I don't even care. I was just like, Emily, shut up. You weren't even on the season. Like, who are you? Why are you talking?
Well, do you think you're getting a fair edit after all of this?
Yeah, I do. I think that I got definitely a fair edit. I wasn't sure what to expect because obviously before you watch the episodes, you're not sure like whose side it's going to look like. I wasn't sure if it was going to look like I was segregating myself and being like aloof from the situation, or if it was going to look like they were segregating me type of thing. So like, I kind of told the story exactly how it actually went. Like, they kind of hated me for no reason, and that was that. So, I don't know. Everyone online's like, oh, she must have done something really wrong. Like, whatever for them to hate her, and they just didn't show it. Well, you think if I did something really wrong that they wouldn't show it on TV? Of course they would. Like,
Yeah.
that's the whole point. And no, what you see is what you get. I just kind of showed up, and you saw from day one that Ashley was making snide comments under her breath about me. Like, I didn't even know her at that point.
You know,
So weird.
generally speaking, everybody that I've seen post about this first couple of episodes online had the reservations about you to begin with, and by the end of the episode, they were like, "Oh, you know, we're on Team Kailah's side. We like her."
Thank God. I know. I wasn't sure how that was going to go for me because I know everybody hated me after my Real World season. My character just rubbed people the wrong way there. So I was like, oh, God, here we go again. Kailah's the outcast. Everyone's going to hate me. But, yeah, I feel like I gained a following a little bit because they saw that. I think that people don't like to see people get bullied. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I did get bullied. Not at all. I'm not trying to play like the victim at all in that situation. But, I mean, I just feel like it's easier to not take the side of 5 girls who are being mean to 2. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I think there were kind of bigger issues too, though. Like with Sylvia's choice to vote in Tony, that was really messed up.
I think so, too. I mean, I understand why she did it. Jenna and I's feelings were hurt about that because Sylvia and her were tight from the beginning. And when that first challenge came on, Jenna and I helped each other, obviously. Like with that puzzle part, you had to kind of like work with the people around you. And Sylvia was on the same like totem post that we were on for the puzzle, and we helped her. Like we all helped each other, but we helped her. And I feel like when she said Tony's name, it was kind of like a slap in the face because we're like, we've been hanging out with you this whole time, and we helped you with that challenge, and you're gonna flip on us, kind of. But in her defense, I do understand why, because she would have been the lowest man on our totem pole. Like if she would have come on our side, she was the weakest girl out of me, Jenna, and Nicole, so she would have probably gone in before I would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Let's not forget with Sylvia though that she did kind of choke out Tony's baby mama there, Madison, on skeletons. So,
right.
It always you always have to be a little suspect of what's going on.
There's a track record there.
Yeah, they all had that little past, and actually Nicole told Jenna and I not to trust Sylvia from like the beginning, but I think she was trying to give her a chance. And when Sylvia said Tony's name, Nicole kind of came to Jenna, and I was like, and she was like, oh, sorry. Like, she kind of came to Jenna and I and was like, I told you guys so. Like, she can't be trusted. And we tried to give her a chance, and she proved us correct. You know what I mean? And Jenna and I kind of were like, well, I mean, it is what it is. We didn't want to just take Nicole's word for the fact that Sylvia was a snake. Like, we wanted to give her that opportunity to prove it to us. And when she said Tony's name, we were like, oh, all right, well, maybe you're right, Nicole.
Yep.
I know you really can't talk about this because we can't know when you leave or when you go or if you win it all or whatever. So when it comes to the champions, now that you know who's on the show, what were your thoughts of them, I guess, before this season? Did you have any thoughts on like Bananas, CT? I would wager to guess most people didn't have any thoughts on Ashley. There's no shots at her. But Ashley from San Diego, but she was one of the, I guess, quieter champions they had.
So yeah, because she won in like Battle of the Season, so it was her whole season that went together. I don't have any like feelings towards her at all, whatever. But when we all showed up and the champions weren't there, we knew that something was gonna happen. Like, they're not gonna go an entire season without Bananas being there. You know what I mean? So like, we knew that there was something that was gonna happen. We just didn't know what or when. And honestly, for a while, because it was so weird, because the champions weren't there. We were living outside. It was like a completely different show. Almost like we're like, are we even on the challenge? Like, they never told us the name of the show. So we're like, what is happening? Like, maybe we're filming another TV show. Maybe this is like an MTV online thing, and everyone's watching us live. We're like, I don't know. We all have these like weird ideas of what could possibly be going on, but we just, they don't tell you anything. You just have to go with it. So.
And then when you saw TJ, you're like, oh, there you go.
Yeah. Well, we said TJ, and we obviously knew we were on the challenge at that point, but we didn't know the name of the show like the entire time we were there. So it wasn't like from the beginning when we got there that it was called the Challenge Invasion. We had no idea. So we were just like, what is going on? Where are these people? We were like, maybe the champs are on their own island, like, and they have to win their way in too. Like, we had all these like crazy complicated situations that could have been going on, but yeah, speculation. You get bored. So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would get worried meeting some of these people because, sure, Bananas is Bananas. He's kind of like a scumbag. But I've really loved CT over the last couple of years, and you never want to meet these guys in real life because they could just suck. And then if they suck, you're like, oh, God. You never want to meet the people, your heroes, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. It's definitely, that's kind of how I was even with the people in the shelter. It was weird because I had seen them on TV and I already had preconceived notions about who they were because of their character roles and editing and watching them on TV for the past however many years. So that was even weird for me showing up like, I don't know. Everyone's different when you actually meet them, and they look different in real life too. Like Ashley is actually like kind of tall, which in my head, for whatever reason, I always pictured her being short in real life. And then Amanda's really short, but I pictured her being tall in real life. So, like, it's just weird. Really weird.
Well, we want to play a little word association game with you. You're going to give us one word to describe the following cast members. And if you want to pass, you can. Plead the fifth. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
Nelson.
Annoying. I didn't like how he played a role in that whole thing. Like, I thought it was weird that he like kind of nominated himself captain of that whole side, which to me was annoying. But I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
How about Latoya?
Loud.
How about Smashley?
Pass.
Tall. Jenna.
Awesome.
Tony.
Loyal, I would say. I found myself actually really liking Tony. I mean,
don't do it, Kailah. Don't do it.
No.
I warned you.
Not like in a baby mama type way. Like as a person, like I think because this season he didn't drink, so maybe he was a lot different than other seasons. But he was so cool this season. He always had my back. I don't know. I guess maybe it'd be different if he was drinking, but he was cool.
Cool. How about Cory?
Ooh. Confusing? I don't know.
Nicole.
Strong.
TJ.
Old.
You don't think he's hot?
No, he's good looking. Yeah. But he's getting old.
And Shane.
Dramatic.
You didn't put CT on this list. How about CT?
Well, we don't know if she's met them
but
yet
maybe
or not.
she knows something about him.
All right, CT.
Can I use old from him too?
Sure.
I wouldn't say it to his face though. Although maybe he's more calm these days. He's a dad now. That came out of the blue that he's a dad.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's definitely, I don't know. Interesting. I mean, it's so weird because everyone always pictured him like with DM, and then that whole thing happened, and then now he has a baby.
I pictured him eating his young at one point.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so here's a very important question. It's Valentine's Day just about. Do you have a Valentine? Is there anybody special in your life?
I mean, maybe.
Ooh.
I do have a Valentine this year.
Nice.
Look at that. But it sounds like it's like, are you not embarrassed, but are you shy to talk about it? Is it somebody we know?
I just don't like putting people on the spot, especially when I'm on TV, because then it's like when it's public, it's weird when I'm hooking up with someone else on TV. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I have this boyfriend or whatever, and then meanwhile I'm like having sex with Cory in the bushes. Like, it's really weird. So I try and like stay away from that.
We didn't actually see that though, so you didn't have to say it, but it's good to know.
We actually weren't. That time we weren't. It was hooking up going on, but that scene was not a sex.
Hey, I'm
We got
married. So
surprised.
I'm married, so I'm living vicariously through you.
Oh my God. Yeah, and I honestly was so scared for that scene because I knew that it was coming, and I thought that they were gonna make it seem like it was sex, but they like did me a favor. Like I feel like they didn't like hint at that at all, which I was
Nope.
like,
That was a
thank
great
God.
edit. I was like, what happened
Yeah,
with them?
I know.
You
It
know,
kind of leaves you hanging, like you're not sure. So.
I'm actually single of a Valentine, so if somebody like say, I don't know, Jenna was looking for somebody, give her my number.
Yeah, I'll definitely let her know to keep you in mind for that.
Hey.
Well, before we go, what can we expect to see from you for the rest of the season? Can you give us any tidbit?
I mean, this season's a little weird because once you get that ticket to the Oasis, it kind of changes your whole game. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm in the game, but I'm not in the game. You'll see like how it all plays out this next episode on how they go about with like the whole Oasis tickets. But for the rest of the time, I mean, you could probably expect me to continue with the whole like being loyal to my side and hoping that that pulls through. I mean, it was hard because there was that other alliance of 13 freaking people against our little alliance of like 5. Like,
Jeez.
I mean, numbers wise, it wasn't easy, but hopefully we pull through on that.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Jesse and I would be on your side if we were out there with you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I have no regrets about that. I thoroughly enjoyed all of those people in that little alliance with me. And I feel like it was a smart game move too because they knew what they were doing. They were like the veterans of the underdogs. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I was like, I'm gonna stick with them. Like, no things.
And who wants to hang out with Are You the One people? Let's be honest.
Kind of exactly what I was thinking. So yeah, I don't regret that at all.
Well, hopefully we can have you on again after you win or you get kicked off or whatever may happen. And we can talk maybe a little more about some of the things that you have to hold back right now.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely. I'm always down to talk. You know that.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on. As always, it's been a pleasure. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, all right. It was fun.
Kailah, awesome as always. I love her.
Yeah, I love talking to her.
She's the best.
Super. She's good people.
She rocks. And we'll definitely get her back on after she wins it all, I'm sure, to talk about the rest of the show and maybe some of the champs and some interactions she has with them. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely.
But until then, just remember you can go to our website at www.bringmeyourtorch.com. But where else can you go?
Facebook.com/bringmeyourtorch or Twitter.com/bringmeyourtorch without the H.
No H. You can go to iHeartRadio, Aha Radio, all that stuff. You can go to iTunes, where if you're listening to us, come on. I know nobody wants to do it because we're all lazy. I'm lazy all the time too. But go there, give us a nice 5-star review, give us a great, little write-up. A little review goes a long way. If you have a Droid, you can go to places like Stitcher, Blueberry, or even YouTube. We're on there. Just Google Bring Me Your Torch. Anywhere you go, you're going to find us. It's going to be awesome. Definitely. And after you do all that fun stuff, just remember that you may have come here as a stranger, but you're leaving as a friend. We'll see you next time on Bring Me Your Torch.
Bye.